What up, though, homies and homies? This is your homeboy Grant Tizzle, and I know I'm supposed to be doing this, but I just wanted to update y'all real quick on what's going on. The good news is that all Reason 9 users is able to get a beta. So this information here is just for the Reason users that's not version 9 and that's not able to get the beta and don't have all of the plugins to test out things like that. Obviously, it's still a lot of kinks that need to be worked out. I get it. That's cool, and that's the reason why they have so many beta users, because the information get fed right back to them to find, to help them work out all of the kinks and things like that. So it's going to be crashing a few times, things like that. But that's to be expected. But I just wanted to update you guys and let you know how things so far is coming along. What's cool is that when you see instruments here, if you got some VST instruments, it's gonna show up over here. The other thing that's kind of cool, I think heart. Well, nope, I can't say nothing. So let me not say nothing about that. But if you got VST effects, it shows up in your effects rack over here. And depending on what you got, if you got cable guys like IK Multimedia, Slate Digital, Soft Tube, all that, Waves, it shows up over here, right? Not everything so far is stable. Again, we run into a few crashes and things like that, but for the most part, it's pretty stable. Now, I wanted to say this right here. I purchased the primary reason why it's a few reasons why I got UA audio. First and foremost is because I simply can't afford. I don't have the sort of budget to invest in the hardware. I'm not a studio, I'm not a recording studio, so it wouldn't benefit me if I invested in a $5,000 mic, $2,000-$3,000 preamp and compressor and things like that, Manley compressors, Fairchilds and all that. It don't make sense. But I do this as for training, and I also do recording as a hobby. So if I can actually have access to that sound, to that flavor, to those particular frequencies, then it's a good investment. It makes sense to me. And if you buy an Apollo, you are able to buy these plugins. Now, what's the difference between like Waves plugins and my humble opinion? I don't know much, but I do know that I have been around in the studios all my career, and there is a significant difference with the sound quality of hardware versus a software. And out of all of the software that I listen to, out of all the VST plugins, UAD nails it when it comes to plugins like the Neve or the SSL or something like that. So the investment was so that I can get this sound quality in my recordings, not necessarily in Reason or whatever, but just in my recordings, period. And I've always known that you can't spend $3,000 on a Manley, $50,000 on a Fairchild, but if you could get a plug-in that's that pretty much nails that sound frequency, because it's a sound frequency, fam. Let me try to kind of summarize it like this. When you're at home and you're at your home studio, when you're recording through, let's say, you're recording your vocals. I mean, all of your music is done in Reason. It sounds good. Boom, boom. Nice kicks, drums, snares, bass, and everything. But then when it's time to record your vocals, you record your vocals through $200-$300, Audio Technica, and you'll run it through maybe a 212 Scarlett, and that got a preamp. It's pretty good, right? It's loud. It does the job. You have the volume that you need. You can even get $200-$300, $400-$500 preamp. They got the Avalon out there. They got the Mobile Pre 73. I had that. And you can run your vocals through these sound modules, and you get a very decent sound. but you're not going to get that frequency that you hear on the radio. I don't care how many knobs you twist and turn, and I don't care how much of an expert you is. With that, experts even know that there's only one way that you can get that sound, and that's to get the instrument. That is to get the hardware. And if you can't get the hardware, that's the reason why basement studio is shifted from studios to basement studios. People was like, okay, I'm not going to spend $100 an hour in the studio. I can just buy a mic, a microphone, a sound card, and do everything in my computer, and then do it like that. But after a while, people start noticing, and people start becoming fully aware that, okay, yeah, I recorded it at home, but it just don't sound like Biggie or Pac or Mary J. I don't care what we do or how we do it. It's just not sounding like that. There's certain frequencies, there's certain color, saturated color that you're only going to get through these particular instruments. For example, the Sony, the $10,000 Sony mic, or the $7,000 U87 from Neiman. You're not going to be able to mimic the Fairchild 670 through a Scarlett 212 preamplifier for $89. It's just not going to happen. Now, I'm not here to argue with nobody. Everybody's going to have their opinion, but I'm just letting you know from a professional standpoint, there's two standards. There's a amateur standard, and then there's a expert or professional standard. And from a professional, that's just what they go through. And what I want you, what I want you to realize, and then we're going to move on to what I'm talking about with Reason and using VSTs and Reason. But the reason why they do that is because there is a frequency standard, fam. It's a frequency standard. And right off the rip, you can hear when something is amateur. Right off the rip. I don't care how good the music is, how good the singer is, all that type of stuff. I mean, even, I'm not going to mention any names, but you have new artists that come out, and you could tell if they recorded something, in their home or something like that. So anyway, to kind of hide that and kind of duck that, you just get you some really, really high-end plugins and things like that. So that's what this is for. So for example, I would love to take this track, or this drum track that I made. I just made a drum track just to kind of do a little bit of case study. I would love to take this to a studio that have a API console, so that my drum tracks can run through that API console, so that I can get the frequency, and I can get the filters, and I can get the whatever sound that this particular board pushes out. It pushes out a specific sound, just like the same thing with the SSL, same thing with the Neve. These consoles push out a specific sound. It's a certain type of sound that you get when you run your things through that. Now that just get deep. That's more deeper off into the game. A lot of us be like, man, we need no consoles. We good. But higher in the ranks, higher in the game, that's almost kind of like the elite information, for lack of better words. It's like pros ain't worried about it. Pros know your music ain't gonna never come to standards of what's up here, because y'all don't even care to learn. Y'all don't even care to understand. Y'all don't care. Y'all will just want to stay down here. So with that being said, that's the reason why I bit the bullet and then made an investment in Universal Audio, or UAD, because they spent a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of effort, and they just nailed it. They just nailed the sound. So with that being said, instead of me using, for example, maybe the Reason mixer, I produced some drums. Now the specific reason why I bought API channel strip is because drums sound a lot more better running through the API or the SSL as opposed to maybe the Neve. I mean, especially good, nice, punchy, hard hip hop drums. And that's just my opinion, but it's a very popular opinion because I compared them with all, I compared them with everything. I compared it with the Neve plugin, I compared it with the SSL, and I compared it with the API. And I've always knew that API would just had a more punchier, more grittier bite. You know what I'm saying? So a few things, man. I made a little cheesy little drum thing, just to run the API in and to check out the sounds. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna do some before and afters. So I think they're all on right now. I'm gonna cut them all off, and then we're gonna go listen to them one at a time. And this is still all rough. You know what I'm saying? This is nothing expert. This is something I literally slapped together just to see if I can hear the difference, just to see if I can feel the frequencies and really, you know what I'm saying? Because I haven't even used UAD yet. I bought it. I had it for like maybe a month and a half, but I haven't used none of the plugins yet. Just running through the microphone right now to talk to you guys, but I haven't actually used it because I wanted to still produce my music either in Ableton or Reason, and then take all my WAV files and go dump it into Pro Tools and then use my UAD. But since we can do it like this now, see, so let's go ahead and listen to a few things. Now, what I did was I got my regular drum track here, and I bust them here. So I won't use a lot of instances of the UAD, right? So this is how it sounds by itself. Now it's a few other instruments in there that you're not hearing. Matter of fact, here, let me just check it out. And I decided to kind of use some really decent punchy drums and a nice snappy snare to kind of give me a boost. But let me show you how it sounds running through this VST. Now again, this is rough, you know what I'm saying? I ain't sit there for hours tweaking and really getting it down tight. I just wanted just a little bit. Let me just see anyway, I'm talking too much. Check it out. So here's what it's on. Now I don't know if you can hear it. That's what it off. That's what it on. Now let me pause this for a second. I need to do something. This is one of the bugs that stops it from you actually seeing it work the meters and things like that. All right. But check it out. Sorry. Now it's being ran. It's being run through the preamp with a little bit of gain. The high pass and low pass filters is selected. It's going through a side chain because we're using the compressor here. We're not using the gate up there. And then we got our settings. We got a few little tweaks here, and it sounds pretty damn good to me. That's off. That's on. And I thought it sounded pretty doggone good. And I'm like, dang, okay. I see where the game is about to go. And this is, these are just soft tweaks. These are just like, let me see what's popping right now. So I'm like, okay, let me see how many more instances of this API we can put on there. So I start adding it to some other stuff. So let's take it back to the top. So we see that the piano is kind of buried in the back. But that's what it's off. And that's what it on. That's off. That's on. So far so good. I'm like, it's stable. Well, besides the other little obvious crashes. And I'm like, okay, let me see what else we can do. So I added it to this drum here. I'm like, okay. The struggle ain't real no more. Now I know it's kind of hot and loud. That's cool. That's cool for now. This ain't no real session. So that's the before. I'm gonna let the drum roll play. And that's the after. Really good. Real good. Really good quality thing. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm hearing like a tight little bite. I'm hearing like edge, grit, punch. Do you hear it? Can you hear that, fam? I don't know if YouTube frequencies will go that high. See, okay, so we heard it. It is kind of warm. It kind of feels a little rounded off. That sound that really discouraged me about reason. But then, now with this, there's a little more of an electric, like an electric punch to it. Now that's just because I'm just an advocate for sound quality, fam. So you might not hear it. You know what I'm saying? You might not be able to hear it, but I can. And then let's move on to the last sound that I added it to, and that's this. And I'm thinking, okay, so how we gonna make this one pop right here? It's a lot of things that we can do to it, but anyway, that's the before. Here's the after. Now I don't know if you can hear it. So it kind of just got like wider and warmer and broader. And this right here was literally just a preset. I ain't even do no tweaking. I just went in there and just found me a cooler preset and threw the preset on there and like, whoa. That ain't even with no tweaking or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right, that's it, fam. I got to sneak back off of here and go ahead and tweak out some other things and learn some other things. The first thing I'm going to do is see how many instances we can get on the UAD. How many times we can load this up before we start running low on DPS. Well, UAD is not the typical VST. It runs off of DPS, so the more instances you use, because the VST don't run inside the computer. The VST actually runs from the Apollo box. So, but anyway, that's a whole totally different subject, ball game and everything like that. But I just wanted to share that information with you guys. And, just from my little bit of dirting around and, being goofy and just toying around with it without even putting nothing serious into it, I can seriously hear the difference, the big time difference. This is just, you know what I'm saying? So, again, game is over. Once we get all these tweaks worked out, just ignore. Once we get all that worked out, man, it's going to be something else, fam. It's really going to be something else. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. I'm about to sign out. I got some new tutorials over at todaysbeats.com for my members, just making a public announcement. Go ahead on over there and check out what I got. But I'm gonna still be tweaking with this and seeing where we go with this and seeing what's good, what's bad. Another cool thing, what I really, really like, check this out up here, the automate. You're able to automate, just click a parameter and bam, everything is already set up. So it's cool. Everything is running good. tweaks, a few little bugs that need to be worked out, but so far so good, man. So check it out. Stay tuned. I'm gonna keep y'all posted. So next time, see you in a minute. See you when I spin it. Peace, fam.